All right, welcome. This video is for ceramics and any students repeating ceramics. My name is Emily McGowan and I teach pretty much all the ceramics classes at Adams High School. So we'll go over a little bit about me, about the course, a few things from our syllabus, that I had to include, and then student work, which is so exciting and inspiring. So here's a picture of me with my two Cavaliers. I adopted them both as seniors. I love rescuing animals. This is my 4th year at Adams High School. I did a half-year stunt at an elementary school because I graduated in the winter in Warren before coming to Adams. My dream has always been to be an art teacher. Yes. So this is a dream come true for me. I love my job. I love what I do. Yeah. I went to U of M for my degree in fine arts in Ann Arbor. So I went to the art school, and then I went to Wayne State for my master's in teaching. And the reason I went to Michigan first is I wanted to be like the best art teacher possible. So I really wanted to know what it was like to be an art student and to hone in on my skills. And then to get my master's in teaching following that. That was always the plan. So again, living the dream. This picture below the Wayne State University logo is a picture from a workshop I did where I was learning watercolor techniques because I used to hate watercolor. I'm always seeking out new stuff. I'm a perfectionist, which is kind of a problem, but I always want to improve. Right now, I'm really interested in social work, so I'm looking into taking classes on that outside of school. Here's my horse of 28 years. He just passed with my mom. We're always compared to the Gilmore Girls. It's just her and I my whole life. And I connect with a lot of students through that. I teach AP Art Ceramics. I run National Art Honor Society and Art Club with Amy Lamone. I also teach drawing, painting, and sometimes 2D art. I love everything I teach. I always say ceramics is my favorite, but then I think about the other classes I teach and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Here's a picture of a bunch of kittens that just had a bath. I've had hundreds of cats and dogs because I fostered animals growing up with my mom. So I love animals. I would do anything for them. I'm also getting into gardening. So if I'm ever stressed, you'll find me in my garden. And then here's a picture of my 2 dogs with Mr. Claus, or I guess his name is Santa, and Mrs. Claus. I am obviously an animal lover. So what clay teaches? All of these things. It's a long list. There's more. Resilience is a big one. And then finally, you live and you learn. So I think this class, ceramics in general, it's amazing for kids who might be perfectionists because you only have so much control in ceramics and you can't, once you put something in the kiln, you don't know how it's going to turn out. But all of these things, this is not like this list isn't fluff. These are all things kids walk away with from working with clay. It is an amazing class. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for so many kids because it's very difficult to have access to clay and ceramics and glaze and all the tools and equipment you need to be a potter or a ceramicist outside of school. So I love when kids take this class and I always push them to do their very best because it might be the only time they work with clay, which I hope it's not, but it very well might be. So projects that we do in ceramics. Well, before we get started, we do fun stuff like the Clay Olympics, and we do the Blind Sculpture Challenge, which is hilarious. We learn about the stages of clay. We do some drawing. And then during this time, like when we do stages of clay and drawing, I'm going to have kids who are repeating ceramics work on a big project for themselves because that's going to be a review for them. They already learned those things when they took ceramics the first time. So kids who are in advanced ceramics are going to be advanced ceramics, meaning they've taken it before, are going to be doing some more complex things. They have higher expectations. So the first project, kids learn about underglaze and they make ceramic pins. This project is always a hit. And I'm giving students who have taken ceramics before the option to do something else or to repeat this. This is just getting our feet kind of, what's that called? Acclimated. I don't know. Okay, I'm a little nervous. The next project is pinch pot rattles, or advanced students will be doing a mounted spirit animal head. Here's examples of student work of pinch pot rattles. The dinosaur in the middle is actually a whistle, but it's made using a very similar technique. And this one on the right, speaking of resilience on that last slide, this rabbit was inspired by a student named Rachel's pet rabbit, Tanner, and he exploded in the kiln and he went through so much and she kept persevering and it turned out amazing. You can't even really tell that he died at one point. Then we get to coil pots. And when we start coil pots, it's kind of a big project where students work independently. So we also start wheel throwing. So these three examples of coil pots are all done by seniors last year. And because we kind of ran out of time, the seniors actually, oh wait, not this red and black one. That's not by a senior. But anyway, this one is also by a senior. And because we ran out of time, these seniors came back after their semester ended and continued working on that. And that made my heart hurt so badly because it was so amazing. It made my whole year. And then here's examples of student work from wheel throwing a couple of years ago. More projects that we do. Kids are going to be doing a personality slab lantern, a special place for a special thing. And then throughout the semester, when we have early finishers, they're going to work on a gnome project. So here's that personality slab lantern. Here's that special place for a special item or thing. And then here is an example of a gnome project, which is pretty cool. This example in the top left is an example of student work. This student never took ceramics before, and this was her coil pot. It is huge. It took up a whole kiln, and she won all sorts of awards for it. So I tell kids, take advantage of being in ceramics, do your best, and this is kind of crazy. But I also tell kids, when civilizations collapse, which they always do, we have people's pottery left over, and it tells us about them. So what they make is literally going to last forever. Ceramics last forever. So they have to do an amazing job. I'm not going to fire anything that's not amazing because they deserve to walk away with amazing, amazing works of art. So expectations, feel free to pause this video and read that, but this is pulled directly out of the syllabus. But basically, what I tell students is I'm going to treat them with respect always, so they know how to treat me, but also so they know how to treat others, and because they deserve respect. They are allowed to do anything in class as long as it doesn't cause a problem for anyone else. But anyone else includes me, it includes them, and it includes the people around them. And whether those are adults or their peers, that doesn't matter. They're included under anyone else. If students cause a problem, they're going to be the one to solve it. But if they can't solve the problem, they're not sure what to do, or they choose not to, I will intervene and do something, but it depends. What I do depends on the specific situation and the student, that specific student, that is. If students ever feel, or parents or guardians, something is unfair, let me know quietly and we'll talk. And then, like I said, take advantage of being in art and go above and beyond. And then have fun, of course, have fun. I have this little caution symbol showing up because I wanted to remember to say in this video that all the materials we're using are considered safe unless they are misused, right? So kids are going to learn how to use all of the tools, all of the equipment, all of the materials we're using the proper way. If at any point a student is being intentionally unsafe, for example, I don't even know, I can't even think of something, then they might have to use alternative materials. But I've never had to do that before because kids are really excited to take this class and do their best. Cell phone policy, feel free to pause this and look at this poster. But basically, students can use their cell phones in class. I hope they listen to music when they work and look up references on their phone for inspiration. They just can't use them during instruction, or if they're just sitting on their phone during class and not using their time wisely, that's also a no. So students will receive one reminder if they're not using their time wisely or if their phone's out during instruction. And then if I have to address them again, I'm just going to take their phone and give it back at the rest of class, at the end of class. And then if I have to talk to the student again, I have to keep talking to them. Their parent or guardian will have to pick up their phone from the office at the end of the day. And I've only ever had to do that once in 4 years. So when students complete a project, they're going to grade themselves. And oftentimes their grade, this is a way for them to reflect on what they've done. There's also reflective questions, but their grade helps me know how to grade them as well. Late assignments, all assignments, and then you can see, on that rubric, the criteria for how their work is graded. And they're also, in ceramics, kids are also graded for their cleanup every day. So I just realized this is not the rubric I use specifically for ceramics, but it's very similar. But they're also graded for their use of materials, how they use them in class, if they cleaned up, if they did their job, that kind of thing. Late assignments. So all assignments, this is just kind of fine print, boring stuff, but all assignments have to be completed on or before the due date. But if a student needs more time, they can just let me know ahead of time. Late work will be graded when possible, because usually I'm regrading things if I have to grade again. And it will be marked down. So if students turn in work a week after the due date and there's no extenuating circumstances, or they didn't talk to me or communicate with me, their work isn't going to be graded. But again, if students or parents or guardians feel anything is unfair, talk to me quietly, and we will work something out. So finally, we have a school Instagram page for our art department, AHS Highlander Art. And we have pictures of students on there, student work. Here's an example of student work from drawing, painting, pictures of our field trips that we go on. There is seriously so much ceramic work on this site, on our social media page. It really, it's a way to celebrate student successes and to keep everyone informed about what we're doing in our classes. Students take really professional, high quality photos of their art that they're really proud of, and we like to show them off because they're amazing. So feel free to follow us on Instagram to keep up with what your kids are doing in class or to be inspired. And then finally, if you have any questions, my email is on the screen right here. Or if you need anything, just let me know. And thank you for watching this video.